And we're back with Professor Tim Adele. Anyone call you Timothy? Is that a thing?
It's a thing when they want to get in trouble.
Yeah. Adele, what background is that?
Well, okay, I'm Swedish, and when we came over, we went by the Swedish custom, which would mean if you're a man, you go by your father's name and add son. If you're a woman, you go your father's name and add daughter.
Okay.
So in the going into World War I, we were the Adolfsons.
Wow.
And they said that it sounded too German.
Definitely did.
They changed it to Adell.
Very not.
Because
yes.
I think they figured out, and I'm glad we weren't Adolfson in World War II.
Or just Adolf, you know.
Adolf, yeah.
That probably wouldn't have worked out well, yeah.
The Adolfs, yes.
Yeah.
But I've been called Adell, Odell, Ardale. The worst I ever got was Airedale.
Airedale?
He was doing it on purpose. Okay. That was intentional.
What does it mean at its root?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. Except I heard that in the early 1900s they said that Adele is a word for a potentially overweight singer, and I didn't know why that was, and we found out it's a prophecy.
That is not a prophecy.
That's a prophecy.
Just made that up. That's a lie.
You are disputing prophecy is what your problem is.
He's just throwing out just fibs. Liar mouth over here.
Liar mouth. Okay, I expect Haley to disrespect my heritage, but
that's great. What's your sign? Your
Cancer.
zodiac.
I had to think Cancer.
You're a Cancer. Okay, so July? Is that July?
July 8th.
July 8th. 4 days after Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
So how American are you?
How American am I? I find out how American I am the farther I get away from America. Okay.
Oh, really? That's an interesting answer.
No, because every place I've ever lived, they just say, I think of myself as cosmopolitan.
Okay.
But they point out how very American I am.
Give me an example.
Okay. Living in China, we had this British couple that was part of our expat group. They were hanging out, and they were about to leave. Okay, and I did what all of us Americans are doing. We're just coming in and hugging them, and you could feel the people enduring it.
Okay.
Because they said, okay, he's American, he's going to be hugging. I wish I could express that sort of affection that I have for him, but I don't. But I'm British and I'm stiff.
So I have several UK friends. I could testify to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are an emotional society here in America. Yeah.
Well, at the same time, we're emotional, but at the same time, there's kind of a male custom of cutting down emotions and expressing emotions in unhealthy ways. So one thing I noticed and this isn't exactly unhealthy, but I'm eternally fascinated by the sociology of teasing.
Okay, go on.
Okay, as Haley wouldn't understand this because I never tease her, but the idea of we reckon our connection to people by how much they will pitch us.
Okay. And
if you're not somebody's going to tease, you don't really matter.
I could understand that.
Yeah.
Assessing that in my head, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And so I'm eternally, and it's a kind of a give and take between people where we establish how cool we are with each other by how much we tease each other and how much we razz each other. It's a sort of because you can't go around hugging everybody, right? Okay. Yeah. And you can't do that all the time, but you can razz them.
Do you tease your students?
Oh yeah. Except for Haley. Haley was dead serious. There was never anything off base about that. We just the facts.
Just the facts.
Okay.
All right. Do you find teasing actually kind of builds that relationship and that trust with your students?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it does. But it kind of has to work based on the personality of the individual. I mean, I have some colleagues who don't tease because that's not their personality.
It'd be weird if they did.
Yeah, it would be weird if they. It would be grievance for me. Okay, but I am naturally. I grew up playing sports, and
middle child.
Or no, the most valuable child. The first.
Okay, you're quick.
We noticed, the genetic rule that DNA has a limited shelf life, and after the first child, the quality of the DNA goes down. So
I am
there's
a middle
notice.
child. I take offense to that.
Well, I mean, don't dispute the science.
Wow, that's twice I've been dusted in this interview. Wow, Monica, I hope you are watching this right now.
Okay.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah,
Somebody got to do it. Yeah,
Dang.
exactly.
we waited until this episode to razz me like this.
No, we started at 9.
My gosh. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Quick break, and when we come back, we are going to play a surprise segment on Professor Adell. We call it Roast or Toast. We will be right back.
Oh.